Yeah, so our goal is to talk about who we think are draft candidates for Buffalo. So there's probably going to be a few players who might be at the top of the draft at offensive line that we're not going to mention because we don't think Buffalo's in on Monroe Freeling, for example. And we're just going to get started. We're just, coming right off the top. The draft order is Jerry, Randall, Owen, me. Jerry, who's your favorite player to talk about in the draft?
My favorite player to talk about. Well, there's a few. I mean, obviously, you've highlighted the one that I like quite a bit, Vega from Penn State. Leone, he's tremendous guard, huge upside, big athletic guard, can move people, has good technique, but I think he's got even a higher ceiling, can get better and better. Plus, he's really good off the field. He has no red flags as far as character or anything like that. So, yeah, that's my guy right there.
Yep. Randall, who's your first player you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll just keep status quo. And who I want at 26, who I think will be at 26, is Casey Concepcion. I'll keep it status quo. I think he fits perfectly on the other side of DJ Moore.
Cool. Owen.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick. First off, sorry for the late arrival. Apparently my laptop is on its last leg, so we're.
Sorry, you're wearing Saber. You're wearing Saber stuff. You're good.
Yeah, you were watching the game. It's okay. Go ahead. I'm watching the game right now, so I'll tell you what's happening.
I got it on the side. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
But my new favorite for the pick at 26. I know I was texting Jerry about this yesterday, but I'm gonna go with Chase Besantis. Is my new favorite idea for 26 with Buffalo.
Okay. And then my favorite at 26 is our Mason Thomas, the edge / outside linebacker from Oklahoma. And then I'm at the turn, so I get 2 picks. Another player, and I'm just going to go right down to Jayshawn Barham. Another edge, probably
Wow.
Wow.
Mr. Every time.
That's
Jim.
the most intentional thing
Yes.
of the 2026.
Jim, Mr. Steal Your Girl over there. Wow. Wow.
That was
So
it could not be more obvious.
yes, and Jayshawn Barham is Owen's guy. So Owen, I will let you talk about him, and you can also make your pick.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of reflects of a guy that I really loved last year with Olu Odejo, who was like a linebacker convert to edge. But for me, Barham is way more physical and physically gifted, has that speed, has that bend, but still has that punch in the mouth strength. So he's a guy that I think has a lot of upside at edge, but also has a lot of positional versatility, which his defense is going to utilize a lot of. And I think somebody that I'm going to agree with that has that same level that I'm kind of higher in the consensus right now. Who I've also been mocking a lot to the Bills in the third. We're going to go with Romello Height from Texas Tech.
Okay. And you want to talk anything about Romello Height or just make the pick? It doesn't matter.
My favorite thing with him was when I watched him for our D-Line episode on Wednesdays was I happened to be listening to some music when I was going through that list, and I was watching Romello Height, and Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson came on, and it timed up so perfectly with his inside spin counter. If you ever want to get super hyped about a player, watch Romello Height highlights with some Michael Jackson on. You won't regret it.
I remember that podcast. Randall, who do you want to talk about next?
All right, well, I'll steal an idea of Jerry that I fully loved about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Is I will take Caleb Tiernan, as obviously he will go in the left tackle, but I think it's a very brilliant idea of being able to put Tiernan in his left guard and then have an opportunity to take over left tackle after Deion Dawkins.
Okay, Jerry, you have 2 picks here at the turn.
Well, so I've got and we're not taking the obvious guys that are going super high, right? So I can't take Bailey at this spot.
I mean, you could if that's the guy you want to talk about.
Right. No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead with another edge right here. I'm going to go with TJ Parker from Clemson. a guy that I like quite a bit. Showed out, did pretty well at the combine, 6'4", 263. Long arms for, that's one thing about him. He's got over 33-inch arms. It's hard to find guys that kind of have that outside linebacker feel, but have some length to them. I like Parker quite a bit.
And then one more, Jerry.
I want to go to wide receiver, and I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the first, probably the first reach, so to speak, of this draft, because I've got to give him some love, and I like him. I'm going with Bryce Lance from North Dakota State at wide receiver. Really like the kid, 4.34, had a great combine, broad jumped over 11 foot, vertical over 41 inches. I mean, I think that he is a guy that is going to get better and better as he gets in the pro game and gets coached, not only coached by pro coaches, but also is around even more talent. I like Bryce Lance a lot. I think his ceiling is super high.
Jerry, do you think Parker is going to be more of a fit for the outside linebacker role in this defense, or more of like the 5-tech 4 eyes?
I think that's the one thing about him. I think he can do both. I mean, he's probably right now going to play more of the 4-eye position, but I think that he's got enough juice to him that they can do some stuff package-wise. Because, see, I think when we go to pass rush type stuff and they start moving guys around into 3 techniques and everything, I think Greg Rousseau is going to go inside and do some stuff like that. So, I mean, it's kind of hard sitting there as far as what sort of outside linebacker guy are we looking at. So I tried to get a little bit of versatility with that spot.
Okay,
I'm going to steal your idea there, because the versatility is also there in Gabe Akis. And I'll go Gabe Akis. 11 sacks, 7 QB hits this year. Really came into his own in 2020, from 2024 to 2025. But he could work as a 3-4, even outside linebacker, and work inside as well. So I think he's got that versatility. But super strong, great speed to power. Big fan.
Owen.
All right, I'm going to go with a guy that can play, I think, either 5-tech, or he's showing the athleticism to drop into space and be another rush outside linebacker. But I think with pairing him up with Romello Height, let's go with Akeem Mesidor, the edge from Miami.
Okay.
There's some rumors he might not even be available by the time the Bills are on the clock for the first time in the draft.
At
People
26?
are relatively high on him going now.
Yep.
Like the whole age thing was kind of a scare off early on, but most people are looking past it now because he's played so well to end the season there.
I don't know. I'm still a late second on him.
Okay, so I'm going to dip into the wide receiver bucket. I want to talk about Ted Hurst, wide receiver from Georgia State. So this is a receiver that can win on the outside. Prototypical size for a boundary receiver. Has the speed to give us what do we call it? Can win at 3 levels, I think is the right way to put it. So Ted Hurst, wide receiver. And then I'm going to go with another wide receiver that needs to be talked about a little bit for Buffalo. And I'm digging into the day 3 bucket with Deshaun Stribling, but I know Owen's been really high on him. There are draft professors that have Stribling in their top 10. So Deshaun Stribling, wide receiver from Ole Miss, probably going to be able to get him in round 4, but maybe we have to pick him in round 3. Could play Z, could play X. We can move him around. So he would be a fun receiver to add and has some upside, not the best year at Ole Miss this season. So, Owen, you're back up.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's back-to-back snipes of me there, Jim, with my guy Stribling, another guy who also does, like, the little things when it comes to blocking and running off coverage, and is just a nose-to-the-grindstone type kind of player with some high upside with athleticism. So I really like that pick here. Some of these top receivers, I think, would still be in play. Even like a Tate has been falling in a lot of mock drafts to the Bills' range at 26. So those are all kind of free game, and because of that, and since I haven't grabbed one yet, we're gonna go with my favorite of the grouping right here. Even though he's a bit redundant, I do still think you just draft good players. We're gonna go with Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana.
Okay. Randall.
Redundant is right.
Randall, we're gonna fight.
All right, I'm gonna steal because I do believe it seems as though the way free agency is going is we are going to have to use a top 100 pick on a safety. I think that D. Alford kind of maybe takes us away from a Dylan Thieneman maybe, and I'm not sure if we're going to take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at 26. So I think a free safety of Bud Clark at pick 91 is perfect for Buffalo. I suspect that pick 91 may be a safety.
Okay. Jerry, you're up for 2 picks.
All right, I'm going to go also trying to go in that route first. But what I'm going to do first is go linebacker. I'm going to go with the linebacker from Texas, Anthony Hill Jr., who I think is a really good downhill linebacker. He triggers fast. He meets blockers downhill. Everything about this defense and its linebacker play is a downhill style. Tackles for loss, trigger, get downhill. The side-to-side running around, I don't think is something that this group wants. They want their inside backers to make plays inside, and not like Anthony Hill Jr. to do that. Safety, I'm going to also go with, and this is what's hard. Is Bud Clark a center field safety, Randall?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like I say that.
You want a recommendation for a center field safety, Jerry?
Yes. How about Tiernan from Oregon?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's go with that one then. We'll go with Dylan Tiernan as far as the center field safety. I really like Robert Spears Jennings. I know, Owen, that shocks you. I know that you can't believe I like an Oklahoma safety, but the thing is, his skill set's kind of Cole Bishop redundant. He's a down in the box trigger guy.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to see that with Hancock as far as the backup. So we need to get some center field play in safety as far as safety goes.
And Rand, we're back to you.
I'll go on the interior, who will play a little nose tackle and maybe a little bit versatile on the inside, and I'll go Caleb Banks. That would be an option that we could take at 26 if we were not to go wide receiver.
Love it. Owen.
Yeah, Banks is someone who I think would dominate at 5-tech, but you can also kick him on the inside there.
That's what I'm thinking. And then, like, with Dion versatility and stuff like that, like, kind of move him around all over the place.
Now we're getting kind of towards the area where I don't really know where I want to go with this. Tiernan is always it was a great pick. That would have been someone I would have looked around here. Let's go back to the wide receivers and just get this pair going. Let's get Elijah Surratt for my ex kind of outside type guy. He was my original crush for the Bills at 26 with Indiana wide receivers before Omar Cooper Jr. came into my life.
Okay. So I've got to fill a few spots here. So Jolene's here. Trenches, definitely. So some offensive linemen that I think Buffalo could be looking at. Round 3, day 3. I'm going to go with Josh Thompson, the guard from LSU. And I'm going to be looking for another guard. I'm leaving him for Owen. I've sniped enough of Owen's guys. I'm going to leave a few guys for O. One more guard. I'm going to go Jeremiah Wright from Auburn. Probably round 4, but if he goes on day 2, don't be surprised. So 2 additional guards there, and we're back to Owen.
Yeah, Jeremiah Wright was somebody I got eyes on in preparation for writing my article at Cheesehead TV. And that was a guy that I was like, I started falling in love with the idea of him maybe being a day 3 pick Day 2, that's a bit rich for my blood, but somebody who isn't too rich for day 2 at the interior offensive line position for me is going to be Matt Galbin, the center/guard from Michigan State. Played both guard spots at Wake Forest before transferring into Michigan State and becoming an immediate team captain at center. Just a guy who can do it all and has some nasty, but also some ability to be kind of that glue guy at any position.
Randall.
All right, I'll take my Buffalo target as a glue guy that takes on that Alec Anderson role when he was in a depth piece, and Trey Zune. Trey Zune played tackle, but really he's going to move into guard and center. He'll be able to play all those interior as depth pieces. I think that's perfect for Buffalo.
It's a great pick, man.
I really like that pick a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Jerry, how high do you think Zune goes based upon when you and Owen covered him?
Man, it could be anywhere. I mean, there's some people that I could see falling in love with him and taking him, say, in the 3rd round. I think he's probably solidly a 4th. Maybe if there's not a run on O-line, he drops to 5th because there's a little bit of projection when it comes to him. But no, I think he's a great choice. I really like the guy quite a bit.
Okay. Jerry, you're up for 2 picks.
Of course, I'm up for 2 picks. I would say I need a nose guard, man. I need a big old sloppy nose guard. That's what I need. I need a big, sloppy, stinky nose guard.
So,
Jim, you should
Dominique Orange, Daryl Jackson Jr.,
right?
Chris
I got those
McClellan.
2.
You went right past Kristen Miller there.
Chris McClellan, Chris McClellan. I could, if I take him, that's a whole nother tie-in.
of Oklahoma.
Oh, and yeah, my son pinned him in 9th grade in wrestling. He was.
Oh, really? There you go.
So
Incredible.
I don't know if I want to take a kid that my son pinned. I mean, the Caleb Banks thing is intriguing as well.
I'm going to use that for like the next 4 years, by the way.
So, Jerry, and Owen's not as high on Caden McDonald, but there are people taking Caden McDonald in the back end of round 1.
Right. And that's kind of where I was looking at as far as that goes, was Caden McDonald, and especially with his youth, 326, 6'3". Yeah, let's go with Caden McDonald. And then I get another pick.
Correct.
What am I going to do? Well, let's go back to do we have fullbacks on here?
They'll be probably listed at tight end, but
Okay. And by the way,
Take my guy, I swear to God.
do not fall into the Kamek is a viable fullback option deal. Please don't do that, because he's not. He's not. So, oh man, I'm sorry, fellas. I'm trying my best here. I know. I'm the slow kid. I got to take him later.
So Jolie was somebody that Dean Kindig posted about that he thinks could play fullback. So that's a tight end.
I don't want to do that. Let's go back to the offensive linemen. Let me see my linemen that are available.
So Proctor, Barber. Like, I think Barber's in play late round 2. Like, I think you and Owen were really high on him. You two are actually the highest on Austin Barber out of everybody that has come on Draft Professors.
Scroll down a little further, please.
Drew Shelton, Keegan Trost,
Crownover. Give me Barber. We're going to have to get another tackle.
Yep. So, Jerry, you want to talk about like why you're high on Barber? Because, like I said, I think you and Owen together are the highest that I've heard on Barber.
He's an athletic player. I mean, he's tall. He's got size. He's got length. He can move and bend and all that stuff. I mean, all the things you like. I mean, I think he's durable. He's a guy that's had a lot of games under his belt. He's durable and all that. And I just think he projects as he could possibly be a swing guy. I don't think he's locked into one side or the other.
Okay. Randall.
Let's go
This is hard, by the way, fellas.
edge.
I'm having a lot of fun.
I think
Oh, I'm
a
in
good-
too, but it's hard.
I think another trade back option that would work. Would be in the first would be nobody took Zion Young, right?
Not yet.
No.
Go Zion Young.
An edge?
Yep. Dynamic pass rusher who's got a bag, comes in with good speed to power, 6'5", 265, a good size for the system. Really fluid in pass rush. Closing speed is incredible on outside runs. I think my knock for him is maybe to work on counters when he gets stuffed by a couple of hand fighting. He doesn't react well, but explosive.
Yep. And I also want to point out that Jolene is here. So Jolene, Jerry, is the draft mom. So for Epic Mock, she is like the queen of the admins. She does this every year. She's awesome. So Jolene, thanks for stopping by.
Is
Hello,
very
Jolene.
awesome.
Nice to meet you.
All right, am I up?
Yes, you are.
I need the temperature of the room on this one because this might be the highest graded player we've talked about to this point who may not be available at 26, but he's been falling quite a bit in at least like the popular mocks. So I'm curious to see if we're okay with me going with Peter Woods here at D tackle.
Oh,
He's been someone.
I'm
absolutely.
okay with that. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
He's weighted way lighter than a lot of people thought he would, but I think he's still like a top 3-4 player on my board. Like he's up there in my Mount Rushmore like favorite film to watch of all time. Specifically,
Okay, so-
the 2024 Peter Woods.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Maryland safety Jalen Husky. So first of all, shout out to Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper mentioned him on an ESPN broadcast in October. And then I'm immediately going to Draft Professors because he wasn't on any of the boards or anything that we talked about in the summer. He is a corner that is converted to safety. He'll be able to play single high. He would be, my opinion is safety for Buffalo should be round 4. So Husky has a top 100 grade, but if Xavier Watts fell to round 3, Jalen Husky's going to fall to round 4. For whatever, you can just call that gym logic. I'm completely okay with that. And then going to save Spears Jennings for one of you guys, but I would love to see Spears Jennings in Buffalo. I'm looking Buffalo. Oh, Jacoby Thomas. So Jacoby Thomas, another safety.
Is that who you're taking right now?
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God,
taking
that was
both
gonna be
safeties at the turn.
That was
Yeah.
gonna be like my last pick because I thought nobody was gonna take him.
So Jacoby Thomas, I believe Buffalo, did we have him in for a 30 visit or was that a combine visit?
Combine visit.
So combine visit for Jacoby Thomas out of Miami.
He brings a lot of energy. His tape reminded me of Jordan Poyer, which I absolutely love to watch. I am a fan of Jacoby Thomas.
Cool. Owen, back to you.
All right, so I'm looking back at the interior offensive line here. I just got done writing that article like I was talking about, so I have a lot of these guys fresh in my mind. And there are some guys that I'm interested with when it comes to bringing them in and being kind of battling it out for a spot. And I think there's a player that I don't know what the temperature is on him for across other draft professors or even the draft as a whole, but I'm super high on this guy for a left guard spot or even right guard if Osiris Sorensen doesn't end up coming back. We're going to go with Keelan Rutledge from Georgia Tech.
Good pick.
Yeah, some people are picking him in round 2. Most people in mock drafts on Draft Professor are picking him in round 3. There are some
round 2
people
great
that
on him.
like him enough round 2. I think some of the Green Bay mock drafts and maybe a Patriots mock drafter did that. So round 2, round 3. Randall.
Gotcha.
I will take, in a realistic fashion, because right now I'm kind of in that DT wide receiver round 1, safety round 3. Give me my day 3 Mike. Sorry, Owen. Red Murdoch. You should have
You
took him
guys-
earlier.
you
I
guys
gave you a
should've.
couple rounds. I gave you a couple rounds on that one.
You did.
Yeah, I just came right out with guns blazing. I just sniped
Yeah.
Owen right from the first pick. I didn't even give him a chance to take his guns.
Owen, man, hey, just know I'm not sniping you, dude.
I appreciate
I
that,
don't-
Jerry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious these two. It's like the freaking clown on Owen deal, man. Like they're trying to take all your players.
we're just making it harder for him because he's
Yeah,
the
they're making it
smartest
to go
one
in
out
my
of us
bag.
four.
I mean, my goodness. Is it my turn?
It is, Jerry. You're up for 2 picks.
I'm up for 2 picks. Okay. Well, the first pick I'm going to make is a press man, physical, bust you in the face, in the box, run support, cornerback, Colton Hood from Tennessee.
Nice.
And then because I watch so much Colton Hood, I'm going to snipe somebody else's guy because I know they're so high on him. I'm going to come back and take another wide receiver. I'm going to take his teammate, Chris Brazzell II, with the next pick because I need some size outside. We've got a bunch of midgets in Buffalo. I need some size. Give me 6'5", 200. Give me somebody who's got a little size to him. And
I love
also
it.
a guy that I think will develop as he goes along. So those
We
are my
needed
next
to
picks.
draft a team with Jerry earlier. Jerry, I love how you're selling that. That's awesome.
That was the first snipe of mine. So touche. There
I did
Right
that
back
for
at you,
Owen.
Randall.
Right at
Thank
you, Owen. I got you,
you
dog.
go.
I
All right,
got
you guys
you.
are even. You guys are even.
Randall.
I will take the next guard because I need to fill the other guard, and I'll go with Jennings Dunker.
It's a great one.
Yes.
Okay, and then Owen, back to you.
So tackle is a very tricky position to straight up draft a guy that has very to fit the straight up tackle mold. I'm gonna get a guy that I'm still really high on, but I do think may have some positional versatility. But not yet, Drew. Not yet, Jim. If he lasts to me again, I'll grab him. Maybe that puts a target on him for your next 2 picks. But I'm gonna go with the guy. Actually, you know what? Just because I don't trust you not to snipe me. Yeah, give me Drew Shelton right now, and I'll come back for my other guy later.
There you go.
And Owen, I
Owen,
got
now
the
you're
edges.
getting it.
I'm leaving you the tackles.
Remember, Owen. Remember, they screw you at the drive-through. Remember that.
That's
do
fine,
everything.
Jim. Give
Don't
me Drew
pass
Shelton.
me.
I'll come back around for my other guy afterwards.
Okay, so I am gonna also do some corners. I'm gonna look more day 3 guys. So day 3 corner to pay attention to. Dalen Everett is probably going in the 3rd. But if he goes in the 4th, this is a corner that's going to be able to tackle. And he checks the measurable boxes. So he's like one of those favorite Green Bay Packer cornerback picks because he checks all of the Green Bay, size thresholds. And then I'm going to go to the MAC for my next corner and go to the University of Toledo.
Avery Smith.
And I'm trying to make sure that I think it's Andre Fuller.
Oh, maybe not. Avery Smith I had tabbed for my preseason MAC ranking because I couldn't remember if he stayed there.
So Andre Fuller would be a boundary corner, likely going on day 3 from Toledo. And then we're back to Owen.
Okay. You just scared me, Jim. Now I'm gonna have to go corners now. I'm gonna go at least one of them in my guy, and especially because I think Jerry might be having this guy on his radar, and I don't want to get sniped by him too, trying to prevent that from happening. So we're gonna go with one of my Washington boys. We're gonna go with Ephesians Prysock. Big long corner, defend the run. Give me a guy who can be a man specialist when you need him.
Good pick. I thought about him today when I was thinking about draft the team.
Okay. Owen, Randall.
Let's see. Now I'm thinking about corners. Let's go. We're going day 3 because obviously day 3 is an important, probably where we're going to end up going when it comes to corner. Give me somebody that I would hope DB specialist turned defensive coordinator could work his magic with the speed because he will back up Maxwell Hairston with another 4.2. Did he run 4.2? And go Lorenzo Styles Jr.
Which one?
4.29, I think.
4.29, right? Lorenzo Styles.
I had him
he-
watched in the preseason. I really liked him.
Yeah, he's a little athletically awkward, but I think with his speed, his bloodline and talent, you could mold him into something and since we have Benford, we have D. Alford that could back up Boundary as well. He could be a guy that can sit and learn and then maybe come into his own 3 years later.
He was someone I pegged coming into the season, if we did our Ohio State preview, I liked him a lot when he got chances at safety and slot corner. So I think he might be a guy that could be like that strong safety slot corner mix there.
Agreed.
Give me a minute. Okay, so apparently I didn't add the player into the database, right? So ironically, I did not have Lorenzo Styles in the simulator. Really? Third time's the charm. It's acting up on me. I'll get it.
I just saw a name that I haven't heard.
Oh, I just saw Lorenzo Styles.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure. Go down to the bottom. Lorenzo Styles right there.
There we go. Okay, and then Jerry, you are up for 2 picks.
Well, I'm going to take this guy before I get sniped with him. So I'm going to go back because we got to pick every position, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with a guy that I really, really like because of his size at 6'4", 303. I know we just re-signed Connor McGovern, but we need another one because Jim's going to trade away Cedric Van Pran Granger for 6 picks. I believe that's what he said, wasn't it, Randall? Jim was going to get 6 picks for Van Pran Granger.
Something like that, yep.
I'm going to go with a guy that I think has position versatility, can play center, and I think he'll be able to play guard as well. That's Jake Slaughter, the center from Florida. 6'4", 303. Like him quite a bit. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of a change up here. I really like our running backs. I think we've got some good as far as zone runners. I don't think we've got a home run hitter. I know that Cooks has that ability, but we don't have like just straight pure speed at the running back spot. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance with a guy by the name of Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas. Randall, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. I like him a lot. I think in today's kick return, I think he could be a weapon. And I think he's going to be a guy that could be a weapon in teams, but also gives us a completely different skill set than what we have in the other 3 backs. So I'm going to go with Washington Jr. from Arkansas.
Yeah. I have a similar thought process of how I was going to handle that as well. I just had a different guy in mind. I love Mike Washington Jr. I'm glad that he got the chance in Arkansas to show himself because he started at UB, went to San Diego State, then made it to the SEC finally and showed his stuff. I was very surprised he ran in the 4.3s. I didn't expect him to do that at all. That's impressive to see. I think he's a great, bruiser as an RB2, and he'll work out. My only concern is all 4 years he had hands issues. I'll never forget the Memphis game where he fumbled the game away and stuff like that. So they're just small, like hands. That's why I have him as my RB6, but he's dynamite. I love him.
Gotcha.
Turns like a Mack truck, though. I don't love his cuts.
His cuts, yeah. If you have to lateral cut at the line of scrimmage, it's either 0 or negative gain.
Yep. Randall, you're up.
All right, I'm going to take the other guy that Buffalo visited for the linebacker position, who gave me Dorian Williams vibes, but a little bit more athletic and a little higher IQ instead of just a downfield thumper. And TCU's Caleb Alarms Orr. Big fan of his 4.47 speed. His closing speed's incredible. I think he's got a pretty good high IQ on learning play recognition from 2024 to 2025. So he improved on that. He's a dog.
Okay. Owen.
All right. I'm going to go with the position where I think there's only one real answer, and even then I don't know if it's actually going to be a real answer. For this exercise, we're going to have to draft a player at this position regardless. Let's go to quarterback here. And I'm going to take Taylon Green from Arkansas and use him as more of like an athletic, just scat back, get Josh a few less hits back there, maybe design some true packages. Don't need him to be an actual true quarterback, but just an athlete in our offense.
Okay, well, we have to take a quarterback for the exercise. I'm going to take Sawyer Robertson from Baylor. I've
So
loved
rude,
watching
Owen.
him all season. He's a little bit of a wild card, but I'll take him just because.
I'll take Fernando Mendoza.
Randall, were you going to take Green?
Yeah, of course I was.
Yeah.
But I see
Dude.
him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
You do?
Okay.
I was insane. Thank you, Jerry. What?
He's only played quarterback for 2 years.
He's the only quarterback that
he's
after
a
he threw
two-
the ball, the referee would see if he had anything in his hand to doctor it. I mean, he throws it like a knuckleball.
Listen, there's no way. First of all, if anybody's trying to turn him into a tight end, fullback, running back, wide receiver, his ball security is so bad.
Yes.
Like to
I'm
learn
not
ball
saying that,
security
yeah.
as a position guy is worse than trying to make him into a quarterback. At least he's only played quarterback for 2 years, basically, because Boise State only made him a runner. He's a 3-year project that could turn into something like Malik Willis, at least.
I'm using him like Boise State did, where it's like, all right, cool, we need QB power. I don't want Josh to have his knee bent backwards and twisted like it was against Jacksonville. All right, cool, Taylor, you're in.
Yeah, and then he can learn for 3 years behind Josh Allen. That makes all the sense for me.
He's the most impactful player you could draft at the quarterback position this
Yeah, you're
draft
right.
for the Bills.
You're right.
So next player I'm going to take is for the middle linebacker spot. I'm going to take Josiah Trotter from Missouri. So Brandon Beane has drafted a 20-year-old linebacker before. I guess technically Edmonds was 19 when we drafted him. So Trotter does have some injuries in his past. He's probably graded in the top 40. We would likely have to trade back from 26 to get him. I don't think he drops to round 3. So I'll talk about Trotter there for a second, and then Owen, we're back to you.
Yeah, that was going to be my next pick if you didn't grab him there, Jim, because he was going to be a guy that I'm looking at linebacker, and I'm trying to factor in, picking at 26, are any of these top guys going to fall specifically in the C.J. Allen category? Or if not, am I looking towards the trade back, the Jacob Rodriguez range? Just some guys that are going to be some downhill thumpers. And we took 2 of them already that I really liked when in Trotter and Red. I think we'll stick here and we'll pick C.J. Allen from Georgia. If you're going to take a linebacker at 26, that'll probably be the guy.
Okay. Randall, back to you.
Let's see. Who do I need? I need.
You have like
offense.
one of
What-
everything.
well, what's
you
on
have one of
defense?
everything except edge.
Okay. Defensive flex. Because I don't think I've sniped Jerry yet. I will go. I think Jacob Rodriguez gets drafted in the mid-second round. If anybody else has any other.
Owen, what's your
Questions on
grade on Rodriguez?
I have a 3rd on him, but the athletic testing is definitely going to shoot him up more.
That's what I
towards
think, too.
round 2, I think,
Yeah.
predictively.
That's what I think too. So I'll start Jerry, and I'll put in my defensive flex, and I'll go Kendall Daniels, Oklahoma, who I think would be a great nickel.
Yep. So you took my defensive flex. All right, Randall.
It's just a small guy.
All right, Randall. Hello, Randall.
So Randall,
Oh, it's not going
why
to go?
does it not?
Because I
You
already
have
got 2
Caleb Elam's
linebackers.
or Red Murdoch. So Randall, you're
Yeah,
out of
okay.
linebackers. You can't do
Okay,
that.
then I'll go defensive
Ooh.
flex, and I'll go Traden Stukes.
Got it.
You made the
I
same
know-
mistake I did the last time we did this.
Did you? Oh man.
I tried to grab Harold Perkins, and I was out of linebackers.
Well, and I need to program some more flexibility. So it's you either have to build a 3-3-5 or a 4-2-5.
Gotcha.
We can't move Kendall Daniels to defensive back. Like I gotta go back to the drawing board and some of these tweeners. So
That's all right. Traden Stukes is a dog. He is a nickel. He's a safety. He's just a playmaker that Jim Leonard would love, to be honest with you.
Jerry, you're up for 2 picks.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not out of linebackers, so I'll go ahead and take Kendall Gunn as my defensive flex.
I even said that I was going to snipe you, so it's just like making me burn
Karma.
for a minute. Right.
So I'll take him. And the other guy I'm going to take is, and I don't care if he's historically short-armed. It doesn't matter to me because if you watch him play, he touches nobody. He looks like an airbender. But I'm going to go with Cassius Howell, the rush end from Texas A&M, 6'2", 248, just a pure athlete. And if you watch him play, like I said, he's really good at avoiding and causing havoc and ghost rushing and all that. So Cassius Howell.
Love it, Jerry. Love it.
Okay, Randall, you're up.
All right, I'm going to flip. I'm going to do exactly what Owen did with Taylon Green, and I'll go Cole Payton and use him as an offensive weapon.
Discount Taylon Green. Love it.
Okay.
Right.
Owen, you're up.
I'm going to draft this guy just because I did mention him just a second ago, and he's my favorite for, I guess, before they drafted, or before they signed, I'm blanking on his name now, the corner from Alford, D. Alford, for the nickel spot. I'm going to go with Harold Perkins, the linebacker from LSU, someone who I think will do a lot better as a big nickel slot defender type, and if they still are looking to add there, I think that could be a guy that they could be interested in.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I need one more linebacker, and I'm going to shout out somebody that Jerry brought to our attention. That's Owen Heineke from Oklahoma. Very
Coincidence?
athletic linebacker, probably around 6'7".
He'd be a good flex.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked watching Owen Heineke. He was a good time. Did remind me of Matt Milano.
And then I'm going to grab my slot player, and I've loved him since summer scouting, and that's Jalen Kilgore from South Carolina to be my slot defender.
Oh, I need a
Okay,
slot
and then
defender,
Owen, we're
too.
back to you.
All right, so I'm currently. So I have 2 linebackers, a corner.
You need to tell everybody about Michael Taft.
I do. I think we'll go Michael Taft here. My safety 3 in this class, just absolutely high IQ. If this was still a McDermott defense, that would be me pounding the table for him every chance I could get. Just he fits that mold of doesn't do anything wrong. Maybe I guess he tested pretty athletically well, especially for those who are still pounding the table for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren that high. He's a guy that tested well enough and better than I thought he would, and is just super highly intelligent, always around the ball, was the leader in that Clemson defense. Just a guy that is going to be in the right place at the right time no matter what, even though he's maybe not going to give you the big splash plays at safety.
Okay. Randall.
I will go with a guy that I watched today at the nose tackle, which I was a fan of, in Brandon Cleveland from NC State. He'd be a good if we were to get a nose tackle in free agency and then get him in day 3. He weighed in at 308, but he really played at 315. But he comes in from 0 tech, 2-3 tech. He's versatile. He's got good lateral movement, but he's got a really strong upper body match with an anchor for a great stack and shed and run defense. Big fan.
And Jerry, back to you for 2 picks.
Can I see who I have?
Yep.
That's me right there. So I need another safety.
You need your safety in your slot and a corner and a defensive tackle, and then your defense is done. On offense, you need a slot player, 1 interior offensive line, 1 offensive tackle, a tight end, and a quarterback.
Okay. Let's go ahead and I got to go 2.
Correct.
Let's go ahead and get safety off the board. I'm going to go with Robert Spears-Jennings just because he plays safety like a linebacker, and I know that they're going to want that out of that 1 safety spot. So I'll take him at the 1 safety. And let's go with where's my guy? I'm going to go with a guy that can play inside and out. And I'm going to go with Max Ahenakor, our guy that we talked about
nice.
from Arizona State. I think he can play inside. I think he can play outside. If you look at his story, he is way late to the game. I think he's a guy that'll progress well and learn more. 6'6", 330. I think he played a bunch of soccer, actually. So I'm going to take him as my tackle, and then he could fill in accordingly.
Randall.
Oh, let's see. I will go with another one of my wide receivers. So now my outsides. Well, KC is outside, inside. Malik Benson is more outside, but he gives me that outside 4.3 speed. Day 3, I call him my day 3 Jameson Williams.
Okay, so Malik Benson and Owen, back to you.
All right, we're gonna go back to our offensive tackles here and take the guy I was hinting at earlier, somebody that is currently going to be out for most of his rookie season with an leg injury, but I have highly graded that I do think could be a long-term project player for them. Let's go with Isaiah World from Oregon.
Nice.
I do like that. You know, that's actually a really good point, that if we got him on day 3, like, he has, I think what somebody says, he has a round 1 body in day 3 tape. So, yeah, like, I would love that as a project tackle. That would be a kick-ass pick. Okay, so I am going to do my defensive tackles. So I was waiting for Owen to take him. Owen hasn't taken him, but this is going to be DeMonte Capehart from Clemson.
I was waiting on that one.
Yep. So last year we had a day 2 grade. Like, I remember, Owen, you took Capehart in round 2 of a mock last year, and he went back to school, and his season went the same way Clemson's did. He didn't have a good year, but he blew up the combine. I believe he ran, was it a 4.8 40 or was it a 4.9 40?
Sub 5. That's all that really matters.
Yeah. He's a 320-pound man that can run a sub 5 40-yard dash. So that was DeMonte Capehart. And then I'm going to
You
go.
want your sloppy nose defending nose tackle there, Jerry? Capehart's your guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Jeffrey Emba from SMU as another possible nose tackle type. The challenge with Emba is that he is an older prospect. So I would think that if we drafted Emba, it would be round 5, 6, 7, but closer to 7 than it would be 5. Owen, back to you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna invest. I took my 5 tech, I took my 4i. Now I need my nose tackle. Let's go with Cole Brevard from Texas, previously of Purdue. Showed a lot of wiggle and twitch for a guy of 330 plus at Purdue when they used him as like a wider alignment type guy, similar to what they did with like Devondre Sweat in college. Once he went to Texas, he strapped up and was just that plug-in nose tackle guy. But there is some of that upside in his pass, so I'm banking on that with that pick there.
Great pick.
Randall.
I saw him got quadruple teamed once this year at Texas.
Oh, yeah. He's
And he held it.
phenomenal.
And he held it.
I love him.
Yeah, 348. Give me that in the middle.
That Ohio State game, he was just a plug in the middle.
He was all day. Give me the right tackle, which I'm going to say wrong. Fa'amo.
I think
Wake
you did
Forest.
that pretty well.
Wake Forest right tackle.
Jerry, you're up for 2 picks.
All right, I'll get my quarterback out of the way since Randall took my FBS guy. So I'm going to go with a guy I think has a lot of upside. I know he's got a lot of detractors. I think he's got a chance to do something. I'm going to go with Garrett Nussmeier from LSU as my quarterback, and then for my nickel corner, my slot player, I'm going to go with a guy that I think is probably overlooked maybe because he's a little bit older, but he's incredibly physical. He's a great character guy. He tackles really, really well. I think he's going to be somebody starting nickelback at some point, and that's Keontae Scott from Miami. as my nickel corner.
I like that. Some people even say that he could play safety.
Well, he plays like a safety as a nickel corner. I mean, he's a hammer.
Yep.
He can blitz. He can do a lot of that stuff.
Yep. Randall.
Let's lock in, just like with Jerry, it had Mike Washington in that off-speed pitch that you could put behind James Cook. My guy for that would be Jonah Coleman out of Washington. He rocks. I think his top half is not connected to his bottom half the way he can run and move. His high ankle is leaving him into day 3, and I think that's crazy. I'm a big Jonah Coleman guy.
Owen.
Yeah, I'm going to go with another corner here, and I was flipping between whether or not I wanted to see if they would invest a bit higher, but I'm going to stick with the day 3 guys because that's more realistic to where they're going to shoot for. And I did this in a recent mock draft. We're going to go with Damani Jackson from Alabama. Super, super raw guy. Maybe wasn't as much of a combine warrior as people thought he was going to be coming in, but the definition of bet on the traits and let him develop behind 2 dudes you have as established starters, and maybe being just like a splash infusion there whenever you do need a third corner out there.
Okay. So, Jerry, I was making sure that you picked your center before mine because I know that you like Logan Jones. That's who I thought you were going to pick. But Logan Jones, the center from Iowa, we've been talking about him on the channel for about 2 years. This is the year that he's in the draft. Definitely a round 4, 5, 6 target. I
love him. I mean, I still love him. But knowing this is a Bill-specific draft, and now that we've got McGovern back, I went with Slaughter because I think Slaughter has position flexibility. I think he can play guard. He can play center. Hell, who knows? He might be able to play tackle. He's a very athletic guy, where Logan Jones, that's your Mike Webster center, and he's playing center and nothing but center.
And then I'm going to go with a tackle where, again, if you're checking boxes for things like arm length and size, Demetrius Crownover from Texas A&M is going to check those boxes. I don't think he gets to day 3, but this would be an example of if he's there in round 4, that's the type of project you put on the offensive line if you have a left tackle that may be needing a replacement shortly. So Demetrius Crownover. Owen, back to you.
All right, Jim, I don't know if you have this guy in the simulator yet, but do you have Riley Nowakowski from Indiana in there yet?
What position?
Tight end, but he's going to be a fullback in the NFL. He's a 250-pound tight end, lead blocks like a menace, was formerly of Wisconsin, came over for Indiana for the title run. Is going to be a guy that, if you're looking for a move piece that's going to fit more comfortably at fullback instead of tight end, but is similar into that Jackson Hawes mold of blocking over everything, this is going to be your guy for a potential tight end or a potential fullback.
Can you spell the last name for me, please?
Yeah, you got it. It's Nowakowski. Good old-fashioned Polish names for you.
Okay. You lost me after N-O-W.
Western New York, baby.
Nowakowski.
Got it.
Good old ski.
Okay. So I believe I added him. Yep. He's yours.
Let's go.
Randall.
Well, I'll take my fullback for because I still got a flex, and Eli Heidenreich from Navy, who has played fullback, has a 4.78 yards per route run when catching balls, and also was a running back, blocked. He does it all. I think that he is a utility piece that could be similar to Reggie Gilliam, who did catch some balls, as a Buffalo Bill.
So I don't have Heidenreich in as a tight end, but I do like the shout out. So I just gave you a different tight end.
Okay.
Jerry, back to you.
How many do I have?
You have a tight end, you have a guard, you have your slot player, you have a defensive tackle, and you have a slot defender.
I will let you guys. I already picked slot defender.
Yeah, Keontae Scott.
Keontae Scott.
Okay, you have a boundary corner.
Okay. Oh boy. All right, let's go ahead and get the offensive lineman out of the way. I'm going to go with an inside guy again. I'm going to go with another guy that I think has position flexibility. I'm going to stay with the theme of the Buffalo Bills. Everybody plays multiple positions, so I'm going to go with Brian Parker II from Duke.
Nice.
Love it.
I'm
Love
going
it.
to go there. Another guy that could play. Really, he could play 3 spots
Okay,
if we had to.
So Jerry, because the programmer isn't as smart as you, you already have a center, and so I love the shout out for Brian Parker, but you have
Okay.
another.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Brian Parker to Owen, okay, because Owen deserves him because I'm going to snipe one of Owen's guys. Okay, so I just think that it would only be fitting if I went ahead and I
know who it's going to be.
If I went ahead and I took the big physical monster, the imposing force from Laramie, Wisconsin, Caden Barnett.
There we go.
I love it.
So
And
that's
Alec Anderson. We have Alec Anderson at home.
yes.
And then Jerry, one more.
I need a tight end.
Yes, you
Oh, gee whiz. Tight ends. The one position we don't need, right, is a tight end. I'll tell you what. Give me Max Clare from Ohio State, 6'5", 243.
do. That works.
Just because.
Randall, back to you. You need
All
a
right.
guard, a slot player, a safety, and a slot.
I need a guard. Where did Trey Zune go? Because I had
Yeah.
Tracy
well,
went to
center.
center.
so Trey Zune's a
Oh.
center. Yeah, he's
Okay.
listed as center, Randall.
gotcha.
No,
Yeah.
and again, I have to improve the flexibility of players that play more than one position.
All right. Well, I'll do my offensive flex, and get that out of the way because my fullback went to tight end. We need somebody in the slot. Let's go. Because he can work inside, outside. Let's go as like a Z type, and we'll go Barry and Brown.
Love that pick.
Love that. So Randall, I was listening to that podcast that you, Owen, and I did at the end of the last draft. If Barry and Brown gets drafted by Buffalo and you called that 11 months before they drafted him, like
Yeah, but I said in the first. So I'm not going to take credit on anything there.
Owen,
All right. Jim, just so I know that I don't have a threat of accidentally being sniped, what positions do you still have need on offense?
I need a running back, tight end, offensive tackle, and flex.
All right, we're going to go my running back here. We're going to go with Seth McGowan from Memphis. Don't really have a lot of spots that need attention on the running back side. Let me just get a guy that is going to push for that bottom of the roster. If you go with a fourth running back, you get this guy, or he's going to be your top dude on the practice squad. Runs like a schizophrenic, is absolutely madman in the backfield. So you want a guy who's going to throw his body for you and sacrifice it for 4 straight years. This is the guy who's going to put himself through the grind.
Okay. I'm going to give a shout out to draft professor Brian Maffey. So he said that he projects C.J. Donaldson from Ohio State to be a fullback.
Yeah,
He's the only one that I've heard say that, but
Really?
I'm going to give him 15 seconds on this podcast. And then
I mean, he was what? At West Virginia, he was over 230, and then
He was pushing 240.
Yeah, and then he lost some weight for Ohio State, but that just didn't even work out because he didn't end up, rushing that well.
and then
could have
at
saw that?
tight end,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
going to shout out draft professor Jack Brentnall. So Lance Mason from Wisconsin could also be that fullback, H-back, blocking tight end as well. Pretty low on the consensus board, but that is one of Jack Brentnall's my guys. So we're going to give him that shout out there. and then Owen, back to you. If you draft a flex, your offense is done.
Yeah, I think that's what I am going to do here. But something tells me Jim has a bit of an unfair advantage here, podcasting with all these different people, have all these different opinions, and cover all these different players.
You are right.
Let's grab my flex player here. It's going to be a wide receiver, and I need some just pure speed. And this is a player I just recently got eyes on for a full write-up. And I do need more of a slot type. So we're going to go with Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State. Absolute burner.
How high did you grade Thompson?
I have him in day 3, but on the higher end, not like super late. I do think that he gets blown over like a leaf in the wind when he's facing any kind of physical play. But if you can get him in as a mover or coming out of the slot, just let him run straight up that seam and track over the shoulder balls, you're going to be real happy there. He's a lot more jittery and change of direction than I previously thought I would come away with it.
Randall, guard, safety, slot.
Well, yeah, I knew this one was easy because nobody was going to take it. So I'm going to my strong safety, which is another big versatile piece in Texas Tech. Owen's favorite, Cole Wisnowski.
You have FCS players, Randall.
I know. I like Cole Wisnowski. I mean, he's a big dude. He's pretty athletic, developmental guy with behind Cole Bishop, but I think he works well.
I mean, he's that hybrid linebacker safety type.
Right.
That, like, I respect the pick because I do think he could be a guy similar to where I was looking with Harold Perkins, where like 6'4", 220, 230 pounds, be more of that like big nickel type player. I can see that.
So, Randall, I have a question. Where are you on Devin Marshall, the corner from NC State?
I have him in the 6th round as for Devin Marshall. I like him. I don't love him. Can work inside outside, but mostly boundary.
Okay. Just asking because I heard one draft professor had him a top 10 corner, and he hasn't been taken in this. Jerry, you've got corner, defensive line, and your slot player.
All right, my slot receiver, we're going to go ahead and keep it simple. We're going to go with Deion Burks from Oklahoma. I like Deion quite a bit. I think he was locked up in a trash offense last year, even though they made the playoffs. Their offense wasn't all that great. My cornerback is going to make Owen happy. He's going to make him very happy. And my cornerback is Mr. Where is he? Where's my cornerback? Hold on. I got him right here. Hold on. Don't lose faith. Takario Davis from Washington. I like his length. I like his physicality. I think he'll fit well with what we do. So I like Takario Davis from Washington.
Love that pick, Jerry. Love that
Randall
pick.
Garter, slot defender.
Where? Oh, wait, no, I need a boundary, right? Did Traden Stukes go to the boundary? Because he'd be my slot.
Okay, I'll move Traden Stukes to your slot. We're good. You need a boundary.
Yeah. Traden Stukes ain't no boundary.
Randall, how do you feel about Chris Johnson? Where do you think his draft range is?
Yeah, I think his size, he's going to end up in end around 2, early 3. I think his talent is between 35 and 45, to be honest with you. I really like his
tackle. Shock you if people were taking him in round 1 of mocks as cornerback 3 off the board.
He is my cornerback 3, so that's why I was curious.
I think he's my cornerback 4 or 5. So I have him high. I'm a big fan of him. He does all the dirty work aligned with good coverage in the boundary. I like him. I will take the boundary. I'll take Masses from Cal. Ezekiel.
One of the teams they scouted a ton last year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's actually a great point that we scouted Cal a lot last year. I think Masses could be a sleeper.
Because we thought that was going to point us towards Noah Williams, but they may have just been looking 2 years out.
Yeah, good possibility. Taking it like Noah Williams was like the one Cal guy that, well, there's a couple. There's about 2 or 3, but that made sense for Buffalo.
Yeah. I was going to say Mendoza last year at Cal, he wouldn't have been looking at.
Right.
So
And then you
Owen,
had
safety or slot?
Woodson that went to Patriots.
Yeah. Let us. Let's see. Oh, this might be a bit of a reach here, unless we did like a trade back and wanted to target a slot player. We'll go a different route then, because I was gonna shout out D'Angelo Pons, but I think he's gonna be too high for us to want to really target him as a slot player.
Where are you on
That's
Preston
why I
Hodge?
didn't draft him.
Yeah. What's
Have
up?
you
What's
watched
with that?
Preston Hodge yet? From
I
Colorado?
haven't. I've been moving nickel up. That's like the last big group I need to really
Okay.
bear down on. I was watching a lot of outside corners previously, which I guess I could put. I could move Damani Jackson to slot just with that high athleticism, and then go for another boundary guy that I really like. That's a good point. Let's. Thanks, me. Let's stick with the slide. Let's go Devonta Smith from Notre Dame. Another player that I wasn't particularly super high on when I first got eyes on him, but through the lens of what I'm looking at now with what the Bills need, and as a backup slot type player, I do like that for him as a projection.
Okay. So I'm up for my final two picks. I need an offensive tackle and a slot wide receiver.
Jim, for your slot receiver, what is the consensus on the dude from Missouri? I'm forgetting his name. Kevin Coleman Jr. I think is his name.
Kevin Coleman, the wide receiver.
There
Yeah.
are some people that mention him. I believe I was going to go a different direction, but give me a minute on the tackle and then we'll get there.
Yeah, I was just
I'm
curious.
going to go Markel Bell from Miami. Large human. Jerry, I don't think you and Owen got to Bell. The other offensive line podcast did. He in mocks right now on Draft Professor. He's everybody's favorite round 4 tackle. Like they just rely on the fact that they can get him round 4. So he's definitely a project.
Not a fan of 6'9".
Project that could fail. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's huge.
Well,
Not
Jim,
a
I
fan
was
of 6'9".
I was only asking about Kevin Coleman because I know that franchise guy who's one of the bigger draft content creators on YouTube. He has him as like wide receiver 6 or 7.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's easily within his top 10.
Man, he had. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the bulk of his yards this year were against some bad competition. If I'm not mistaken, he had either 0 touchdowns or 1 touchdown for the year. He's undersized. I don't know how you could put him top 7.
Yep. So I moved Stribling to my slot because I want to talk about Chris Hilton, the LSU wide receiver. So Chris Hilton only had 10 catches this year. Don't stat scout him. I think he ran a 4.3-ish 40 at the combine. He's going to block his ass off, and he would be the wide receiver 5 because Shavers is going to be on IR. So if Chris Hilton doesn't get drafted, I would be shocked, but we should be able to get him late day 3. And you don't usually get athleticism like that in round 6 and 7. So I think he's going to go earlier than that. But my team is completed. Owen, you have a safety is your final pick.
Yeah, I think you kind of buried the lead a bit on Chris Hilton with his 10 catches this season. He had 41 over 5 years of college. Like it wasn't just the lack of production this past season. He's going to be available super late because of that. But yeah, blocks his ass off and is like super fast, bigger guy, plus 6 foot. Has all the traits. Just was never utilized for LSU for one reason or another.
I don't know. I think I'm good.
I remember he was on Randall's
I'm
list
good.
for wide receivers, and he said, "Why are you having me cover Chris Hilton?"
Yeah.
It was almost an exact quote.
That would be my fault, Randall. My bad.
That's okay.
But
That's okay. I'm glad
we're going to go with a guy that I think we're going to be able to land with one of our day 3 picks because he sucks at tackling, but is one of the single best, single high free safety players in this class in Genesis Smith. Somebody who should not be available as late as he's going to be, but I'm trusting my defensive coordinator to correct some of those mistakes with his tackling and maximize what may be one of the steals of the draft if he falls outside of day 2.
Okay, and then Randall, you need a guard.
I will take the Arkansas Razorback, Fernando Carmona, as a guard, and then he's got tackle flexibility.
Make sure he wears tennis shoes so when he steps on people, he won't hurt them.
David Bailey's going top 5, and he did the same thing.
He also assaulted a cameraman.
Exactly.
So, Jerry, you need one of the big uglies on the defensive line.
Yeah, I've got my guy, Jim. I really do. I've got my guy. I think he fits well. If we're running a 4-3 front, I don't know if I take this guy, but sees we're going to an odd front. I think he fits as a 4-eye really, really well. Huge individual, 6'6", almost 330, huge arms, hands, the whole 9 yards, extremely physical, has all the traits. Will get better and better. And I'm going to go ahead and use one of my picks on Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle from Florida.
And
I have that.
Randall already took him.
Did he?
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
I think my
screw
second
you,
round.
Randall.
It was the second round. It was
That's a
appropriate.
different
I had that
It was appropriate.
whole thing lined up perfect. And then you went ahead and ruined it.
That was
All
a different
right.
Monsters Inc.
Well,
line
and
I
all
remember.
this excitement, it's kind of hard to keep track.
It
Did
is.
he fire 6 shots or only 5?
Plus I'm old because it's past my bedtime. All right, I'll just go ahead and keep it 9-1-8, and we'll just take Chris McClellan and hope that we can teach him how to 2-gap and play nose guard.
I think
So I'll
you're going to
take
teach him how to
McClellan.
wrestle.
Yeah. Take McClellan out of Missouri via Florida. Randall, I
Okay.
think that Banks pick, Randall, would fit Buffalo really well.
I think so too.
Could you imagine if they had him and freaking Deion Walker on the field at the same time, the amount of length that would be covered up?
Him, Walker,
And penetration and violence.
It'd be hash mark to hash mark.
Yeah.
Now, Deion Walker's he's more of a lateral guy than he is a penetrator, I'm telling you.
I think
Gotta watch him.
I think
We
Both, I
talked
just
about
don't think he has a great
88
ankle.
players. How many of Buffalo's draft picks do you think we covered?
all of them.
Do you think we
I
got
would
all
hope
7?
so, right?
I think
I
between
hope.
the 80-plus guys we just talked about, we have to have hit all of them.
Well, we didn't
We
cover
start-
We didn't cover the Army B back that they're going to take to replace Reggie Gilliam.
I did. I picked Eli Heinreich.
Yes.
Where's he from?
Navy.
Navy.
You went Navy.
Oh, yeah. What? Who are we talking about?
Like I even care. I'm just being a brat, dude. I don't care.
I just want to say I covered that basis.
I don't
think
care.
he's perfect for Gilliam.
So Jerry, Randall, Owen, and I, we've all done a few of these before. Did I explain it right leading up to today?
Yes.
So that you knew
Here's
what we were up
here's
to?
what has happened, and I'm mad that it's happened, but it's happened. I'm ready to do the next season. Like once this draft's over, this is fun. I'm ready to start digging into multiple positions, not just OL, DL. Really, this is fun. I'm having a blast. I mean, this is awesome.
And I'm having a lot of fun, and I think we're all having a lot of fun just kicking back and talking about it. So,
Well, it's not even just
oh, yeah.
that. It's this our group's good too. We work. It's a good group together. So, if Owen could keep his computer running and keep his cat off of it, it'd be much better. But
that Owen's
Classic
cat
Owen.
gets so much crap on podcasts. Him, Newt, and the cat, yeah. But this is a good exercise. I'm coming back to this podcast the day after the draft to see how many of the players that we covered. I have a lot of confidence that we got at least 5 of Buffalo's draft picks covered in the last 75 minutes. So
Randall, what are your? Well, we'll talk about it when we get off air. was going to say, what do your
Yeah.
mornings look like?
Open.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. So, Randall, do you want to tell everybody about all the podcasts that you do?
Yeah, at Randall Slifer, you can find me on Twitter. I try to respond to everybody. I'm with Do Champions for Buffalo Podcast on Mondays at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. Obviously here on Tuesdays with the Draft Professor with Jerry Owen and Jim. And then I'll be hopping on weekends. I think I'm still doing the March 20th Friday night 3-round mock.
Yep.
So I'll be part of that in 10 days, which is great. And then I'm also with Team MBS Media. I write for the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Buffalo Bills, and we do our NFL Draft Central show that covers the draft on Wednesdays at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central with Greg Rector and Bill Carroll. We are doing our first round mock tomorrow that we're talking about.
Okay. You can follow Owen at Weekly Huddle on Twitter, and he's here Tuesday nights with Draft Professors at 9 to do the Bills show. He's also on Wednesday nights with Newt, where they just rotate the topic that they cover. Jerry.
So I'm on the Overreaction Buffalo Sports Network, Overreaction Buffalo with John Fina and Joe Miller. I'll do a show tomorrow night with Zig Fracassi from Sirius XM Radio called 7 Days of Sunday. We're obviously going to talk first day of the new season in the NFL. And then I do Locked On Sports with Joe Marino various days of the week for a second show. And then I also do Bill Squad right now on Mondays and Thursdays. When we get in season, we change the days because of the immediate post-game show and all that. So that's where you can check me out.
And Owen, I did your plug, but you can do it again now that you're here. And we blamed everything on your cat.
No, I think my computer just crashed when it saw come across the timeline that Bam Adebayo just dropped 83 points in a game.
I saw that.
Which is insanity.
43 free throws. Does that count?
And he still hasn't scored 40 outside of that.
All right.
But
sounds like a boring 83 points to watch.
Everything that Jim said, and also I just got done submitting my part for the interior offensive line section of the Cheesehead TV draft guide, which is going to be Packers focused, but it's going to be just as good for anybody who wants to go and see 25 players at each position covered for the draft that's coming up. So you can be on the lookout for that as well over on my Twitter at Weekly Huddle.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to the Cheesehead TV guide as well. So as best I know, there are 5 draft professors that are putting content into that Cheesehead TV guide, because I know that Newt leads the whole thing up. I know that you're doing that. I know Jack Brentnall does kickers. And then Brian Maffey does a section in there about all the players the Packers won't draft. And then Dom, who did quarterbacks with draft professors, to the best of my knowledge, is doing a section for Cheesehead TV as well. So check out Cheesehead TV guide. They have their own podcast channel. They have their own draft guide. And it's awesome to see you doing that, you know. Yeah.
Never done anything weirder than spend 5 hours of my life writing about how 20 different offensive linemen fit the Packers' wants and needs. So, as a Bills fan.
Yep. And then I want to remind everybody that April 9th, 10th, and 11th, we have Epic Mock 26. So on the 9th and the 10th, Jerry is going to have the Buffalo Bills War Room on his Overreaction podcast channel.
Yep.
You will see Randall and Owen helping him make the picks. I will be on the Draft Professor feed, emceeing the whole thing. On Saturday morning, Randall will have the Day 3 War Room on his Do Champions feed. And then this year, there's a twist to Epic Mock. So on Sunday night, we're doing a UDFA show. The only players that Brian Maffey and Anthony Russo will talk about will be players that were not taken in Epic Mock 26. So they're going to go through their boards, find the players that weren't drafted, and they're going to tell you about the best players that nobody took.
Well, that's fun.
That is. So there was a little bit of that in the group chat last year after we did it. And I'm like, well, that's podcast content. Why would we not podcast on that? We podcast every day. We need content. And then as soon as May rolls around, we're going to be doing summer scouting, and Tuesday nights is Big Ten night. So you will find out the best 200 players in the Big Ten right here Tuesday nights. You'll see Owen, you'll see Randall, Matt, Steve, and a few other draft professors will be covering the Big Ten like no other draft channel. And then if you want SEC, show up on Monday. If you want ACC, show up Wednesday. If you want Big 12, show up on Friday. And if you want to learn about the quarterbacks, because everybody says next year is always better, that's every Thursday night. We are covering 4 quarterbacks, and we're going to be breaking down the draft class like no other channel. So for Big O, Jerry Ostrowski, for Owen, Randall, myself, thank you so much for watching. It has been a lot of fun. This was called Draft a Team. You can use it on the Draft Professor Simulator. If you have any questions, find me. Good night, everybody. See you on a
Good,
podcast.
Thank you.